Set my Hi everyone. Welcome to my Myriam Mindset episode number 2. Hopefully you're able to jump on the Zoom. If you're not, there's going to be a recording on YouTube, so hopefully you can find us there. Otherwise, we're going to have fun here. Welcome to Myriam Mindset episode number 2. Like I mentioned in the first episode, I'm no expert. I'm just here to share my experience, my growth, give you some tips and tricks, and whatever you can take out of these calls. If you can take like just one thing out of this call, I'm super happy. I'll be like to the moon. So today I want to talk about meditation. If you know me a little bit, you know that I'm the kind of person who moves a lot. If you ask my parents, I can't sit down for 5 seconds. So it's hard for me to stop and be still for more than 5 minutes. So meditation has always scared me because I wondered how I could even like sit down for more than 5 seconds and calm my thoughts. So just so you guys understand how I came through with meditation. It's when the first time I started doing meditation, it was at the end of a yoga session. You know, when you go to a yoga class, they always make you like go on your back at the end and just palms up and breathing or whatever, just so you are comfortable. And then they guide you through meditation. Usually it lasts 5 to 10 minutes. And I was even having a hard time doing that kind of meditation. Like it was so hard for me to just calm my thoughts and everything. Then the first time I did a full meditation, it was a 45 minutes guided meditation. And honestly, it was great. It felt good, but I had to bring myself back to the listening to the person that was guiding us, probably no joke, like 20 times, because my thoughts would just start spinning. I would start thinking about everything I had to do on my day and everything. So point being here, there's a reason why they call meditation a practice. It takes practice to meditate. And my guests today, so I'm going to ask you a few questions. We're going to do a little meditation. We're going to end up the call with a little meditation. So I'm going to ask her how it is for her, how she came across meditation, why meditation, giving us maybe some tips and tricks, because I'm no expert. Like I'm now able to sit down for more than 5 minutes and meditate, but I still have a lot to learn. So I'm not going to go further on my own story. I can't wait to present my amazing guest. Her name is Jennifer Diaz. I met her through my online journey. Of course, most of my guests are going to come from my online journey. It's just from some random coincidence that we ended up talking together. She was putting a group of women and men that were just exercising in the morning together to push each other. And she was always doing a little meditation at the end. And I discovered this amazing soul, and like she's just wonderful. I can't wait for you guys to meet her. So her name is Jennifer Diaz. So Jennifer, if you can unmute yourself, that would be amazing.
Hello, my love. Can
Hi.
you hear me?
We sure can.
Awesome.
Thank you
How
for
are
coming on
you?
this call. That's very
Thank you for
appreciated.
having me. It's such an honor, honestly.
Yeah. So see how like zen she is, like with the little light. I love it. so I'm gonna try to calm down here and find my zen. So Jen, the first question that comes to my mind is, please tell us who you are. Like, who's Jen? Who is this beautiful person? Just a quick introduction.
You're so sweet. So, like Myriam said, my name is Jennifer. I I was doing a morning workout / meditation every day, Monday through Friday. And Myriam came on, and from the beginning, I was just so astonished from like the aura and the person that she was. So when she said, "Hey, can you get on this with me?" I was like, "Of course, it would be such an honor, and I'm extremely blessed." So before everything, thank you for having me on.
Thank you.
Just to tell you guys a little bit about me, right? I came across meditation. It was back in 2017. And the reason why is because ever since I graduated from high school, right? I'm 23 years old, 24, 24. I just turned 24. I just turned 24. But when I started, when I had just graduated from high school, I went into college, and I was living by myself for a very long time. And with, school full time, I was working a full time job. I was also working a part time job. And there's just so much going on that I kind of needed an escape, and never really was the type of person to turn to drugs. And so I was like, what way can I find, to just zen myself? And thankfully I was walking into a Barnes and Noble one day, and that's a bookstore if you guys don't know what Barnes and Noble is. And I walked in, and I always look at, we always look at the deals and the good, steals that you can get. So as soon as I walked in, there's this blue book, and it said mindfulness really big. And I had always heard about mindfulness. I'm very big on Dr. Joe Dispenza. If those of you don't know him, I would definitely say look into him. He is amazing. And so I had heard a lot about mindfulness. And when I saw the book, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get this book. And the book is called Mastering Mindfulness by Kim Davis. And so I started reading the book, and it was talking about the practice of meditation, but not just any type of meditation. It was mindful meditation. So I started to take on the practice, and little by little, I got really good at it. I wasn't listening to any guided meditation. I was just doing meditations on my own, in complete silence, sitting outside in my balcony. There was actually a lake in the back, so I could just listen to the lake running, and I could just listen to the birds and people walking by. And it was just the first time that I ever got into meditation. And it started off with a quick 60-second meditation that led me to a 5-minute meditation, to the point where I can meditate for 20 to 25 minutes, no problem. And, I always say this, you have to start with just 60 seconds. People think it doesn't do anything, but meditation is a practice that when you first get into it, although it seems very simple, it is not easy. Get those two words completely separate from each other. Simple is not easy, and easy is not simple. Something can be easily done, but it is not, something can be simple, but not easily done. And that's what meditation is. It is just the fact of breathing in and out and kind of focusing on your present moment, but it's not easy because your mind has over 700,000 thoughts on a daily basis, just kind of going in and out, and you're only aware of like 20% of that. So, it's a huge, this is awesome. I literally, like, I'm at one of my friend's house, and her
We
cat
have
has
a
not come to
visitor.
hang out with me at all. And he came right now. So he definitely got called in by our aura. So this is great. I love it. But yeah, that's a little bit about how I got into meditation.
That's awesome. So, thank you for sharing that story about like what led you to meditating. So obviously you kept doing it. So obviously
Mhm.
you're getting something out of it. Like, can you explain to us what, and it's your own experience because I know that it's probably different for other people, but in your case, like, what are the multiple benefits that you get out of meditating?
I love that question. I think it's so important for us to really think about um, what you get out of things, right? Because in life, we can all do something, but what are you really getting out of it? With meditation, I was actually just talking about this earlier. You get to not only become more aware with yourself, but just finally be in the present moment. And when I say finally, is because we always see, there's one thing we're always chasing, and that's happiness. People can say, oh, I'm chasing money, I'm chasing this, I'm chasing that. No, you're chasing happiness. Money doesn't buy happiness. That statement is out there for a reason. Okay. When you are happy, when you are zen, when you are present, that's when you are fulfilled. There's no other feeling that can be described as happiness. And so when when you meditate, you are zen. Like, there is nothing that can happen in your life, even outside of meditation. When it becomes a daily practice, nothing on the external can damage your internal peace. So when you begin to meditate on a daily basis, you feel so calm inside and so aware of yourself. And that's only one of the benefits, right? So I was realizing that while I'm driving, I'm originally from Miami. Now I'm living in New York, but it's just a whole lot of people in every city. And so when you're meditating, and I would notice that before I started meditating, I would get really frustrated when people would cut me off. Then through mindful meditation and practicing it on a daily basis, people will cut me off. People will get in front of me and not put their blinkers. And I was just not upset. I was very in tune with myself. And that's only the beginning, right? You also get amazing like health benefits, because now you're allowing your body and your cells to heal themselves, which is really what your human body is intended to do, right? And not only that, like your spirit, okay, your spirit is at peace, you are calm. There's just very little that you can attach yourself to. You are connected with everything, but you're not attached to things. And that's another thing that we really have to understand. We have to be attached to nothing and connected to everything. You must connect with everything around you. But when you attach yourself, that's when you start to experience anger. That's when you start to experience frustration and sadness. So we have to separate one and the other. And that's just the beginning. I mean, meditation has a million benefits, but I won't
That's
sit you here through all of them. That's just the main three
yeah,
that
we
you
could
really have
probably
to
talk
think of.
about this subject for hours, but
Oh,
yeah, I
definitely.
understand. But thank you for sharing that. So I realized not so long ago, like I was in my introduction, I was saying that I never meditated before and blah, blah. But lately, I realized that I was meditating just in my own way. Like, I realized that for me, going for a walk with no noise, like just, let's say in the winter, hearing my footstep in the snow crushing would like bring peace to my soul. I realized that just dancing it out in my living room and something was not going well, it was my kind of meditation. So I feel like there's different ways to meditate. And like, have you, I understand that you are, and I think I kind of probably already know the answer because I've seen the kind of meditation you're doing, but do you feel like all those different types of meditation would bring the same benefits? And in all of these possible version, what would be your favorite type of meditation?
I love that you asked that question, because that's actually one of the main things that that book talks about, mastering mindfulness. Meditation is life. Every single thing that you do in life is a meditation. Whether you're dancing, like you said, or you're cleaning, or you're washing dishes, or you're sitting down with your feet crossed, or you're walking in the park, anything that you do in life is a meditation. So it's very important for us to realize that. I hear a lot of people say, well, I just don't have time to sit down and meditate. That's fine, but you have time to wash dishes, right? Yes. Okay, then that's a form of meditation. Just kind of focus in on that moment. um Realize and become present with the way that you like touch the plate, the way that the sponge feels in your hand. Like that right there is a whole mindful meditation of its own, and it does not take you sitting down. You get the exact same benefits because you are completely in that moment. See, the first thing I said was meditation is about being present and being in tune with your body. That is exactly what you practice anytime that you do mindful meditation. There are many types of meditation. My favorite is definitely mindful meditation. Um, I like to sit down and just do a silent meditation. I recently, and it was when you started doing my morning workouts, I started doing a guided meditation with people. So now I have been doing that a little more often. I don't not like it. But if you ask me personally, I would tell you my favorite is to just kind of sit in silence, because you can fully express everything and just kind of let it out without actually saying anything out loud. Rather than when you're meditating, with everyone, you kind of have to be conscious of what you're saying. You can't just like sit there and spill all your beans on everyone. People are gonna be like, I don't get it. Why is she even talking about this?
That's amazing. Yeah, so you kind of covered my next question, but I'm still going to ask it because I feel like even though we've covered already the fact that whatever you're doing, it can turn into a meditation. I feel like a lot of people are stuck in their mind with the idea that to meditate, you have to be like super zen, like in a special environment, and it needs to be like guided, and like, you know, these gurus that you see everywhere, they're like go on a retreat for like 3 days without talking and without like, do you feel like, obviously I kind of probably already know the answer, but do you feel like this is necessary, or like can we just keep it simple basically, right? Can we?
You can definitely keep it simple. You can definitely keep it simple and just, like you said, do a meditation. Doing anything really, it doesn't have to be so in depth. You don't need to be sitting down with a candle in a quiet, silent room. Like, you don't need all of that. Is it going to be easier, and is it going to be a little more, like it's going to allow you to focus more? Yes, because there are no distractions, but that doesn't mean that you can't meditate anywhere else. Now, as far as the monks who go on retreats and don't talk, I'll be the first to say I've been dying to do that. I don't think it's necessary for the average Joe, like for someone that's like, just like, I'm not really that into meditation, I just want the benefits from it. I don't think you need it. But I think if you end up getting deeper into meditation, you'll just kind of want it. I'm dying to go on a 3-day retreat, just like no phone, no like nothing, and just silence. Like, it's great. It sounds
So
like
you
a great
made,
idea.
but you made your way there, right? You don't start
Yes.
by not
Oh
sitting
yeah.
down for 5 seconds to 3 days meditation retreat, right?
Oh no, no, no. Yeah, absolutely not. And if you would have told me that in the beginning, I would have been like, are you crazy? I would never do that. I can't do that. I can't even sit for 1 minute. But now it's gotten to the point, like I said, where I can sit down for like 20 to 25 minutes. And that's still a little bit, they say that the average individual that's actually extremely successful, making millions out there, for anyone who's interested to know, meditates for 2 hours a day. So they will meditate 1 hour in the morning, and they'll meditate 1 hour in the evening as well. So that's
Oh
just
wow.
huge on its
Yeah,
own.
I didn't know about that. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for letting us know that. So we touch base again, like you're giving us so much information. I love it. So, there's always these people that say that, a bit like me, I used to say like, I can't, no, it's not, I can't do that. It's impossible for me. I'm not even gonna try. Like, the naysayer that says, no, that's not for me. I can't do it. What would you say to those people? Obviously, you said already that you started with the like 60 seconds and you made it longer, and now you're able to do more. But what would you say to those people that are like, no, it's not even worth trying?
So, I mean, I'm all for never having to convince anyone to do anything. So if someone says that they just don't want to do it, I'm like, just I won't sit here and convince you to.
Yeah,
But my
absolutely.
thing is always ask why not, right? So why not? Why do you think you can't do it? Why not do it? Why not try it, right? Um, the worst thing that you can get is only positive things. The worst thing you can get is a positive mind. The worst thing you can get is present moment. Like, that's not the worst, right? But so with people that say like, it's not for me, it's not something I can do, because that's the one I do get more often, like, I can't do it. Well, why do you think you can't do it? Oh, well, I don't think I can do it because I can't sit there for 10 minutes just in silence. I couldn't sit in 10 minutes for silence. So start with 60 seconds. I said that before, but then you'll put them up to the task and they'll be like, oh, it's 1 minute, watch, I can do it. And they can't, because within a minute, they've already lost themselves after like 15 to 30 seconds with thoughts. And they're like, well, I did breathe. And it's like, but did you think about anything while you were breathing? They're like, well, yeah, a lot of things came up. Okay, so then this is what meditation is about. And one thing that I will add to that, because there are people that have that in their mind, um, don't ever go into a meditation practice and like say, okay, well, I'm going to practice for 10 minutes. And then after 3 minutes, now you're getting frustrated with yourself. And then you're like, well, I said I was going to go for 10 minutes. So then you're staying on for 10 minutes. The second that you begin to get frustrated, or the second that you begin to get overwhelmed, if you continue to do it, what's going to happen is that you're now practicing frustration, you're practicing overwhelm, you're practicing anger, you're not practicing being calm. So if that's happening, you need to stop the meditation practice, and maybe that's enough for today. Try again later, try again tomorrow. Don't force it, because the second you're forcing it, you're practicing what you don't want to practice. So that's like a huge tip that I can definitely give anyone who's trying to meditate for the first time.
That is amazing. Thank you so much for those tips. Because I used to be, like I said, I used to be one of those people that think I couldn't do it, but I realized that I was doing it, but in my own way. So,
Hmm.
when you first started, I know there's a bunch of like apps and music and sounds and all that jazz that is available out there. Um, what are you using those? What do you think? Like, do you feel like they would be beneficial? Do you have a favorite? Like, please tell us, like, what do you think about these kinds of uh, extra things from the outside that are supposed to help us come within ourselves?
Sure. So, I have heard there's a lot of apps. I've tried using the Calm app. It is good. There are apps out there that even time you, and they'll like keep track of how many hours you've meditated within like a certain amount of time. Personally, I go on YouTube and I just put meditation music, depending on what type of meditation I'm trying to do, and just find like an hour or two of meditation music, and then just kind of sit there for however long I need to, and then put a timer on my phone. Reason why is a lot of the apps aren't extremely necessary. That's not to doubt any of them. That's not to down any of them either. Um, but I've never found it very necessary. I know that they're great from what I hear, but I'm just like, man, I can do it on my own. So if you feel like you need a guided meditation, definitely go out there and seek one of those. But YouTube is free. And I feel like when someone is not yet very into meditation, paying for something with meditation is probably not going to be the best idea, because until you can get to the point where you're fulfilled with it, you won't find it very important in your life. So it's just going to be, I don't want to call it a waste of money, but an investment that you might not necessarily take up on fully.
That makes sense. Okay, so we've got a lot of information. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I just feel like it's just so much good tips and tricks. Thank you so much, Jen, for sharing that with us. So just before we do a little meditation, probably, I don't know what you were thinking, probably 10 minutes, 15 minutes max, not too long, so that we don't scare people away, because we just talked about the fact that we have to begin to start at the beginning with shorter period of time. But what would be your main, so for a beginner, someone that says, okay, I'm going to look into this, what what are your main tips and tricks you would give to someone that's like, okay, let's start this practice? Where would you start?
I would start, sit at a chair. Okay, do it early in the morning. As soon as you wake up, just grab yourself a glass of water. Water in the morning is always extremely good to kind of start your body. Do a meditation without eating. So do the meditation before you even have breakfast. If you can go outside, that would be my first thing to advise. Always do it outdoors. Always doing it outdoors is very, very helpful, just because you're able to connect with the outside world. You can listen to the wind, you can listen to the birds, you can kind of just listen to everything around you, and it will bring you very present. If you can just sit down in a chair outside, or even sit on the grass outside, um, or even lay down on the grass. I know sometimes that people have, some back pains and stuff like that. Just laying down is extremely, extremely helpful to do a meditation. And like I said, put a 60-second timer. Start with just 60 seconds. If you feel that you can do a full 60 seconds, completely concentrated on your breath, okay, that means you are not thinking of anything else. Nothing is distracting you. All you're thinking about is inhaling and exhaling, okay? How your breath goes in through your nostrils and out through your nostrils. How cool it feels when it goes in, how warm it feels when it comes out. How your chest rises and falls, how your belly button expands and touches your spine on its way back in as you exhale. So all of that are a lot of really, really good tips that I wish I would have known in my first meditation session. And they are what gets you started. Now, after you do 60 seconds, do no more than 2 minutes. So little by little, until After 2 minutes, you can try a 5-minute meditation, but don't just jump from 1 minute to 5.
That makes sense. Awesome. Well, so let's turn off our lights. Let's just listen to Jen's beautiful voice, and let's try our first meditation. For some of you, if it's your first meditation, just let it go. Just let it sink in. You don't have it doesn't have to be perfect. Just like Jen says, just breathe, just enjoy. And I hope you guys got a lot of value out of this call. I'm so very grateful for you, Jen. So once this meditation is done, we're going to wrap it up, and I'm not going to start talking again. So just so you know, I'm going to end this session, this episode, right when the meditation ends, so that if you guys want to stay in the zone, you can do it on your own. So I hope I see you guys next week. Thanks again, Jen, for coming on. That's very, very appreciated. And thanks
My
to everybody that
pleasure.
is here to watch this episode. Let's just sync the rest of this episode here with Jen. Enjoy your
I
meditation,
love it.
guys.
And before we get started, I actually want to ask you guys, drop a 1 in the chat if this is your first time doing a meditation, just to kind of get an idea of whose first time it is. And Myriam, while they drop a 1, do you want to put some music on your end, or did you want me to put some on mine?
Yes.
Cool. So it
Well,
doesn't look like it's anyone's first time.
what kind of music do you want? I know you mentioned about YouTube.
Yep, you could just Zen meditation is fine. Just something
YouTube.
calm for a little while.
Okay.
I do have some babies in the background crying, so I don't know if you guys can hear it.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm personally not really hearing it. I have kids, so it's like kind of learned to not listen to this kind of
I can try to see if I can go outside of anything.
Yeah. Okay. Oops. No, can I just want to make sure I can share my music here. Can you guys hear
I love
this?
it. Everyone's lights are off.
Can you hear
pretty.
this, Jen, or no?
No.
Okay, let's try this like that.
When you share it, put share with audio.
Can you hear it now?
Yep, perfect.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to turn off my lights and enjoy your meditation, guys.
Awesome. All right. I'm up just to make sure you guys can hear me. No worries, Josh. We'll definitely do a beginner's course. So as we sit here, for those of you who are going to be laying down, go ahead and find yourself in a calm spot. And let's start with just finding our breath. Go ahead and start by closing your eyes. For those of you who are laying down, just make sure that you're completely aligned. Your spine goes all the way up to the top of your head. So be sure to align your back with your head and your hips. Continue to take deep breaths. Inhale through your nose and out through your mouth. Now, for all of you who are sitting down with me, just be sure to completely align your spine as well. Try to release the tension from your hip bones by tucking in your pelvis. Do not just stick out your pelvis and sit straight on your hips. Actually, tucking it in will help us with completely feeling at zen and being a little more relaxed. Take some tension off the body. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and put your palms on your knees and turn your palms upwards onto the sky. And as you breathe, remember that the breath will come in through your nose while your belly expands. Then it'll come out through your mouth, and we'll be tucking our belly button all the way back into our spine. This would allow us to bring oxygen onto our. This allows oxygen to come right into our minds, into our head. Now, as we sit here, we're going to start with a body scan, starting all the way at the top of our head. We're going to go ahead and focus on any tension that you might have. See, when it comes to meditating, we must learn to fully focus on our breath and ourselves, and learn that in life, there's going to be tensions on the outside, there's going to be distractions, but we must always come within and listen to only ourselves. Our thoughts and our breath are the main things that we must focus on. So as you stay here in your mind and in your head, releasing any of the tensions, I want you to slowly focus in on your eyes as you go down. So your focus, you're taking it from the top of your head and any tension you might have down into your eye sockets, your temples. And as you sit here in this area, I want you to realize that maybe what you see behind your eyelids is light from the outside. Any light that you can see means you're currently focused on the external. In order to take that focus inwards, we're going to go ahead and look into our third eye. What that means is we're going to bring our vision inwards onto the middle of our eyebrows, and it allows you to black things out a little bit deeper. Remember, the entire time you're going to be breathing. And as you breathe, your belly expands. And as you exhale, your belly button goes ahead and touches your spine. Now we're going to bring our focus down onto our jaws. This is where a lot of people hold tension. So as you sit here with your focus on your jaw, start to slowly loosen up the muscles. If that means you have to open and close your jaw, go ahead and do so. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to meditate. It is simply a practice that you must continue to practice on. Feel the way that your jaw completely releases as you focus in on it and you breathe in this section. We're going to inhale one more time. Let's move down onto our shoulders. This is another area in which a lot of people hold tension. So feel free to roll around your shoulders if you need that, or if you maybe need to keep them where they're at. And just take a breath, and when you exhale, completely let go of any tightness, let go of any muscles that might be stuck. See, when we feel blocked or stuck in our life, it's usually tension we are holding within, which is why meditating is a great practice to take on, because it'll teach you to fully release the body and unblock anything that might be holding you back. Now, as you move down into your chest, I want you to focus on the way that it expands as you inhale and the fall as you exhale. This fully brings you present with where you're at. It allows you to calm yourself and remember that you are a spirit living a human experience. This body that you live in is completely built of organs that run on their own. And yet there are times in which we feel stuck and we allow things outside of us determine our internal peace. Now, as we move down a little bit deeper in our bodies, we're going to focus in on our arms. Focus on the way that your arms are currently bent or stiff out. And just release any tightness, release any muscles that might be feeling tense. Release all the tension that you have. If your arms are sitting in a specific way, which may be causing it to numb out, go ahead and release that. Release all the numbness that you might currently have. Now, as we move a little bit lower, feel your palms, feel the energy and the electromagnetic frequency you are radiating from the top of your hands. Feel the way that they feel warm against you, the way that your body is completely let go right in this moment. Feel how energy is flowing out of you. And this is simply by you sitting there and coming to the realization that it's happening. This happens to us all the time. Even when you cannot see it around you, there is energy radiating. There is energy connecting us to everything. And this is something that you can create by taking a minute for yourself. So now let's bring our attention back in closer to our body and focus on your hips. Focus on your hips. Focus on the way that they feel, the way that they hold your upper torso, the way that they hold your upper body. And you don't even have to ask for it. You don't have to try. But they hold you up. They are what separates your upper body from your lower body. And all of this happens subconsciously. These are the thoughts that constantly go through our mind that we don't even think about. The way that we breathe, the way that our organs work. These are things that our body does on its own. We do them automatically. You don't have to think about telling your hips to hold you up. They simply do so. You don't have to tell them to heal themselves. They simply do so. As we move our attention down a little bit further, we're going to be taking a deeper focus on our quads and our hamstrings. Some people just simply know them as your thighs. Focus in on this muscle, one of the biggest muscles our body holds, also completely doing its work all on its own. Now focus a little bit lower on your knees. This is where a lot of people tend to have injuries, pains, or aches. And as the human body does on its own, you can heal yourself by fully connecting with this section of your body. Connect yourself at this moment with your knees and give it affirmations. We hear affirmations for ourselves. We hear people talk about telling yourself how you are beautiful and you are calm and you are happy and you are at peace and you are joy and you are love. But what about some affirmations to heal? So sit in this moment, take a few deep breaths, and affirm to your knees. They are strong. My knees are powerful. They no longer ache. They are no longer in pain. At this point, focus and realize how deep inside yourself you are. And if you're not, that's okay. Think about your breath. Focus on your breath. And then on your knees. And you see how quickly you come back to your present moment. Now let's go ahead and move a little bit lower onto our quads. I'm sorry, into our calves. I was going upwards. Guys, sometimes in meditation, you have to just laugh it out and understand that it's about being present. That's how in tune you have to become. The word is not what matters. It's the action of what you're doing. It's not about comparing yourself to others. It's about focusing within. And as we sit here or lay here and take a deeper focus or look onto our calves, we realize that this is a muscle that we never really think about. This is one that sometimes goes unnoticed, but without it, it would be very difficult for us to stand or walk. See, everything inside of you has a purpose, just like you have a purpose. Inside of us, it's a universe of its own. See, there's a muscle, there's a tissue, and then it goes all the way down to atoms. And that isn't everything. We are one with the universe. And when you understand that, you realize that your problems are not as big as you make them seem in your mind. So think about every little atom in this muscle, all the small cells that slowly reconstruct themselves on their own. Now let's move to our last and final spot in our body, our feet. Focus on your ankle, your toes, the bottom of your foot. These are parts of ourselves that we don't give much thought to. And these are the parts that allow us to roam on this earth. We are fortunate enough to have them. There are some who don't, and they still wake up. Fortunate, they still wake up and give their blessings and their thanks. Sometimes we take things for granted. And this is what this meditation is all about. Realizing that there is never anything we can take for granted. So as we sit here on this last section of our meditation, I want us to take a few deep breaths. Go ahead and take 2 more. And in order to bring yourself back onto this reality and get back to your everyday life, I do not want you to just open your eyes. I want you to feel your hands slowly begin to move your fingers. Now let's bring your hands together like if you were about to start praying. And as you have your hands in front of you, in front of your chest, I want you to slowly begin to rotate them like if you were trying to create a fire in circular motion. Feel the energy that you have created, the frequency that you have built within your meditation, and continue to move your hands in circles. And as you sit here, go ahead and begin to speed up the circles just a little bit more. Feel the more that you create this heat, the more that you create this tension, this frequency that you are creating. And I want us all to take a moment together and grab this energy, this electromagnetic frequency that you have just heated up within your hands and inside your palms. And with your dominating hand, I want you to place it over your chest and place the other one right above it. And as we sit here and bring our breath back to normal, feel that energy go within you. All that frequency you built between your hands. The way that your heart beats without asking for permission. The way that every single day you wake up and it's thanks to the organs within you. Thanks to this body you get to call yours. This vessel that works on its own. And I want you to smile. Smile and give thanks in this moment. Give thanks to the universe, to your creator, to God, whatever it is that you believe in, to your own body. And say thank you. Thank you for working on your own. Thank you for allowing me to live. Thank you for allowing me to breathe. And as you slowly begin to open up your eyes, just have a smile on your face. Because you just walked yourself through a meditation. It's just such a blessing. And I want each and every single one of you to know that I am honored to have been able to spend this time with you. It is just, I got myself out. I'm back there. It is an honor to be able to spend these times with you. I hope that each and every single one of you, took from it and that you can go ahead and continue doing this on your own. It is not difficult. You are worthy of this. You are worthy of this moment. You can do it on your own. And as you were able to see right now, just walk yourself through the way that your body feels. Okay. So, Myriam, thank you so much again. It's been such a pleasure to be on here. Thank yourselves above everything, because if it wasn't for you showing up, you wouldn't have been able to experience this. So, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you
I
so
hope you
much,
all have an
Jen.
amazing night.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great evening.